Let's take you live to the Prime Minister now.
Concentrating on monetary policy going forward. So we will make all of those decisions in the fullness of time. What we've been doing on is concentrating on the policy framework, getting that right as well.
The Solicitor General's advice has been released, but it's been dated 19th of April. Why don't you release the previous or original advice?
We don't release, nor do any government ever release advice to Cabinet. People have said, and there's been speculation, unfounded, by the Coalition, who of course should be renamed the Noalition. They said no to all the cost of living measures that we've put in place, including energy price relief. They said no to jobs in manufacturing through our National Reconstruction Fund. They've said no to increased investment in housing through our Housing Australia Fund, Future Fund. And of course, they've said no to a voice for Parliament, even before the committee process has been undertaken. The Solicitor General's advice that we asked for to the committee that has been forwarded by the Attorney General, as I said it would be, is very clear and it's unequivocal. It's really important to just read perhaps some key elements of that Solicitor General's opinion. He said this: the proposed amendment is not only compatible with the system of representative and responsible government established under the Constitution, but it enhances the system. Goes on to say, the voice would not, to quote, form part of either the Parliament or the executive government, instead operating only as an advisory body to those two branches of government. The voice clearly has no power of veto. That's at paragraph 17. Paragraph 19, the voice's function of making representations will not fetter or impede the exercise of existing powers of the executive government. And in paragraph 18A, the Solicitor General has said the text of proposed section 129 imposes no obligations of any kind upon the voice, the Parliament or the executive government. This puts to bed the absolute nonsense of Peter Dutton and Barnaby Joyce and all the nonsense that they've carried on with, saying that somehow recognising Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people in our Constitution will lead to Anzac Day being abolished. It is complete nonsense. They are just determined to play politics with this. And the tragedy of this is that Australians, from the littlest Australians who we just saw there today, this morning, once again paying respect to Indigenous Australians by having an acknowledgement of country. It happens in early learning centres, it happens in schools, it happens in churches, it happens before football games, it happens before the Parliament each and every day. This is simply a matter of recognising Indigenous Australians in our Constitution and allowing for them to make representations on matters that affect them in order to close the gap on education, health, housing, incarceration rates, life expectancy, on all the issues in which there is a gap between Indigenous and non-Indigenous Australia. So this exposes, for the complete falsehood that it is, that there is any suggestion from serious people that's consistent, of course, with the comments of former Chief Justice, Justice French, former Justice Hayne, Anne Toomey, Brett Walker, people who have examined this and looked at the words that have been forward in the legislation that's before the Parliament, conclude that it is legally sound, and that is what the Solicitor General's advice that is clear before the committee has submitted.